So we're seeing a lot of the 2021 bull run altcoins that are starting to rally pretty hard right now. AVAX, Avalanche, has not moved all that much. By comparison, you have projects like XRP up 137%, more than that in the last 30 days. By comparison, AVAX has moved up only 38%. Still good, but not on par with some of the really big winners that we've seen so far. And after giving us a massive 291x ICO in terms of gains in 2021, it would seem that AVAX has turned into this kind of sleeping giant right now. However, there is reason to believe that this will soon change. And that is largely because yesterday, the 16th of December, Avalanche launched Avalanche 9000. And in a lot of ways, this is like taking the AMP and maxing it out, putting it at 11 on 10. And I say that because this has truly massive implications for Avalanche and its broader ecosystem. We can expect hundreds of interconnected Avalanche L1s launching. And how about a gas fee reduction on its C chain by 96%? This is just going to give an immense boost to Avalanche and, like I said, its ecosystem. Games love and need the speed after all. Institutions need customization and control. DeFi generally needs lower fees and interoperability. And so really, without being hyperbolic, this is the largest upgrade that we've seen out of Avalanche since its mainnet. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck, of course, if you choose to invest. I wish you well. But let's just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, which means by extension that this video is not official financial or investment advice. So first and foremost, let's set some context here. What is Avalanche 9000? I think it's worth defining. As I mentioned, it is the biggest upgrade since Avalanche's mainnet. So yes, it is a big deal. However, it is fair to point out that at first, this is for developers. Avalanche offers them the opportunity to build without trade-offs. And that's because most underlying platforms have their limitations. And then as a result of that, the devs can really only build within those limitations that correspond to those platforms. Avalanche 9000, on the other hand, offers no constraints for builders whatsoever. So that means that any benefits for us, the users, will come later once the developers and teams launch their projects. That's when you and I are going to be able to experience the speed and low costs of these new L1s. Plus, new projects will launch in all kinds of sectors, so like gaming, DeFi, others as well. And then the argument, therefore, is that there's going to be something of interest for everyone. Now, the actual name for the upgrade is Etna, which was launched yesterday, the 16th of December. The product or the result of that is Avalanche 9000. And this is going to make it easier to launch your own L1. So launching your own Avalanche L1 is also going to give you specialized infrastructure and it caters to your needs. Let's go over now the specific benefits that are going to be part of this. This upgrade has 4 benefits in particular for launching your own L1. It makes them, number 1, more economically workable. Number 2, easier to customize. Number 3, smoother to maintain. And number 4, fast to launch. And that's important for what I referred to earlier. I mentioned that each sector has specific needs. And so with Avalanche 9000, you can play into those needs. DeFi, institutions, gaming, education, art, or really any other sector that you can think of. Avalanche 9000 also offers 3 specific components, and here they are. Number 1, there's the primary chain or the C chain. This is the economic and foundational hub, and it also powers the network, and liquidity can flow between all other L1s. And all these new L1s can access the pre-built C chain tools. The Avalanche C chain can run smart contracts that are EVM compatible. So that's number 1. Number 2, there's the network of L1s. This is where you can build and run your own L1. You have 3 options: the free and new Fuji testnet, DevNet, or mainnet. And then the third component is interchain messaging. That is the ICM bringing interoperability. Sui, which is a strong L1 contender, recently passed Avalanche in TVL, total value locked. But that being said, there is a strong chance that with this Avalanche 9000 upgrade, we're going to see AVAX scratch its way back up that hierarchy. Let's talk about the benefits now of Avalanche 9000. And we begin with the fact that Avalanche reduced the costs of deploying an L1 by an astronomical 99.9%. A 99.9% cost reduction. And keep in mind that there were already hundreds of projects building on the testnet. So the result of this is probably that we're soon going to see really an explosion of launches. The minimum gas fees on the C chain are also expected to drop by 96%. And as a result, Blockwork Research expects a 50% increase in transactions on the C chain. We're also going to see customization options for staking economics, gas tokens, and a lot more. And also, you don't need to put 2000 AVAX on the table for a C chain validator anymore. Instead, you can set up your own permissionless validators. And so, of course, the impact of this is that we're going to see an increase in decentralization. The L1s come with built-in regulatory compliance, including geo restrictions, and you can even add custom permissions if you so choose. You can scale your L1 with any virtual machine, and there are already various L1s active on Avalanche. For example, we have Deloitte, which of course is a big accounting firm, DeFi Kingdoms, Gunzilla with Off the Grid, MapleStory, and Shrapnel. So plenty of games that have already launched on Avalanche. In fact, we're going to be talking about games more in just a bit. But just before that, I want to touch on the ICM, or interchain messaging. This is also very important because it connects all of the L1s. And so this brings interoperability to the L1s. Straight upon launch, actually, they benefit from the complete network's economics, and that's because of the shared liquidity hub. There are also incentives for builders on the testnet. For example, Retro 9000, where early builders on the testnet will receive rewards, and also Bounty 9000. You can use USDC as gas here on your L1 and with lots of on-ramp options as well. And so all of this should have a positive impact on the price of the AVAX token. The current price right now sits just above $50, which is still 66% or so away from its all-time high of just under $150 a couple of years ago. Its market cap right now, as I record, sits just below 21 billion, and the project ranks 12th across all cryptocurrencies by market cap. Now, there's a max supply of 720 million and a total supply of 448 million tokens. Out of these, 409 million are in circulation. And you can probably characterize this Avalanche and AVAX as a legacy coin at this stage that has not yet started its run for the 2024-2025 crypto bull run. I mentioned a moment ago that gaming is going to be a big deal, and certainly the Avalanche 9000 launch is going to impact gaming in the Avalanche space in a lot of positive ways for a few reasons, actually. First of those being dedicated L1s, because of course they are fast, they don't lag, and they don't have fee spikes, which is very important. And devs can customize the chains. Plus, in addition, they are scalable. There's also interoperability, meaning you can send assets easily between chains with ICM. As far as the developer experience, the L1s are faster and are going to offer lower transaction costs and lower fees. It is easier to deploy a new L1. And in terms of the player economy, marketplace transactions are instant. They also offer a more stable infrastructure. And this, of course, benefits better in-game experiences. Really, all games on Avalanche are going to benefit from this, the new ones, certainly, but also the older ones that have already launched. Here are two samples. One example is Off the Grid, or OTG. This is one of the most successful battle royale shooter games in blockchain gaming. I played it myself. It's up there on my list in terms of fun games. And a big part of that is the fact that you can own gaming assets. And then we have another example in the form of Shrapnel, which is a game that uses the Unreal Engine 5. So visuals here are spectacular. It's an FPS, or a first-person shooter game with in-game assets in the form of NFTs with which you can create content. MapleStory Universe is another example. This is an MMORPG, or a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Its roots actually go all the way back to 2003. So this is kind of Web 2 meeting Web 3 in this example. And last but not least, we have DeFi Kingdoms. This is one of the older games on Avalanche. It is a play-to-earn, or P2E game, and it's kind of a fantasy MMORPG in pixel art form. This one also offers a DEX with LPs and an NFT marketplace.